be making do-it-yourself solar rings for the pool. As you can see, we have a few of them in the pool already. We chose this type of material because you can make virtually any size of solar ring that you want. We required about 4 feet in diameter for each solar ring, so that needed about 12.5 feet of irrigation tubing doing the math. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just 4 materials. You'll need a coupler for each solar ring to connect the irrigation tubing. These are the 5/8 inch size. Zip ties. I used about 8 per solar ring. I found the nail most useful to puncture holes for the zip ties. Various cutting material to trim the zip ties, cut the solar blanket, and to cut the irrigation tube. You can use tape measure to measure out the irrigation tube length that you need, but I ended up cutting a piece of twine to 12.5 feet and just measuring out irrigation tube from there. 5/8 irrigation tubing, pretty standard at any hardware store. We're using the solar blanket that used to cover the entire length of our pool for the inside of the solar ring. Used the tape measure or twine to measure the irrigation tubing needed for the desired length, then trim it off. You've cut the tubing, now it's time to install the coupler. So just simply push it into either side of the ring and it will be watertight. So we've already trimmed the solar bubble wrap for the ring, and now we're just going to put in the zip ties to hold the tube in place. So you take this nail and you poke a hole on either side of the irrigation tubing. One here, the other side, stick in the zip tie. Once you get most of your zip ties in, the last thing to do is just trim off the zip ties and cut next to the hose as close as possible. Once you're done clipping the zip lines and trimming the solar blanket around the hose, that's pretty much it. So this thing's ready to go into the pool. So what I like about these materials is that you can make this any size. So once again, this is just 5/8 irrigation hose material with zip ties and the solar blanket. So you can make a square, you can make a smaller circle, even a larger circle. So it's pretty variable, and as you can see, they pretty much stay in the pool and not affected by the wind. So that's how I constructed these solar rings. Hope you found that helpful.